Đắk Lắk has long been the capital of coffee with an area of over 190,760 hectares and the annual average output of 400,000 tons. Coffee is the key export produce of the province, thus directly affecting the majority of local people. Therefore, it can be said that the sustainable development of coffee sector is associated with the socio-economic development and political stability of Đắk Lắk province. However, Đắk Lắk coffee is facing output decrease as the area of old coffee trees has increased. According to Đắk Lắk's Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, the current area of 20-year-old and over coffee trees is about 50,000 hectares. That of 25-year-old and over is more than 4.1 thousand hectares, and 1.4 thousand hectares is the area of coffee trees 30 years old and over. But in fact, replanting coffee is not as easy as it may seem. If we don't do properly, the area and output of Đắk Lắk coffee in the near future will inevitably decline. That's why Thanh Ha Joint Stock Company has manufactured and supplied bioproducts of KH, NH, and AH in order to improve coffee plantations, as well as replanting coffee trees in the highlands. Initially, these coffee plantations have witnessed obvious improvement. In Đắk Lắk, the two industrial crops with major economic value are coffee and pepper. Currently, coffee has the area for growing as it has been cultivated since the 1930s. So the requirement now is replanting, which means uprooting and planting the trees again. A few agriculture supplying companies have brought in their products, which also have resulted in some positive signals, though still like a full evaluation. Among them, we highly appreciate Thanh Ha bioproducts as they are the high-tech products for sustainable development. As noted, Thanh Ha products have been brought in for about 5 years, beginning from 2007 or 2008, yet intensively used since 2010. Through our observation and some models on coffee and pepper carried out by the company, we highly appreciate their products. The coffee garden of Mr. Ngô Văn Tân, Block 8, a key village, Thạch Nhất Ward, Buôn Ma Thuột City, is nearly 30 years old, yielding a very low output. Since applying Thanh Ha bioproducts for coffee plantation improvement by chance in 2009, with a technical support from the company staff, his coffee trees have been improved properly, flourishing with lush green leaves, more flowers and berries, and resulting in higher yield. In the first year, I didn't follow exactly the instructions given by the company. I just did it accordingly to my own available conditions, and what came out was great. In the following year, I saw the output of young trees was similar to the old ones. Up till now, after 5 years of using this product, the output of old coffee trees is quite steady. So, by far, I have used the product properly since it showed its efficiency on crops, despite improper usage in the first year. This tree, for example, previously had the output of 5 kg per year, and then declined it to 3 kg per year. However, for 5 to 6 years of using the products, its output has been stable at 5 kg per year or over. And what's special is that the berries do not fall even after hours of continuous rain. They are quite small now, yet in 2 months they will flourish in both quantity and quality, while the trees still grow normally. It could be hard to believe without having seen the coffee plantations applied with Thanh Ha bioproducts of AH and NH. We were completely convinced when visiting the garden of Mr. Phan Đăng Tiêm, Tân Lập Commune in Krông Búc district of Đắk Lắk province. The policy of the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development and provincial authority is to rejuvenate the crops and entirely transplant in the 3 following years. I have used fertilizers and bioproducts in coffee replantation, and within 18 months, the results are so noticeable. So applying bioproducts and proper scientific and technological procedures is a good way of replanting coffee trees. At first, when knowing about these products, I was not quite convinced. Yet after consultancy and trials on some first trees, I realized that they could be potentially efficient. Secondly, for coffee replantation, people only plant the trees again after 2 to 3 years. I thought if I had a short-day plant cultivated in this waiting time, the output would not be so high. Then I took these coffee seedlings from Imad Institute and moved the plant from small polybags to bigger ones. I left the trees there for 6 months before planting them on the ground, and now I harvest the crop at the same time as people replanting 2 years ago. Initially, the trees hardly matured, so I used Thanh Ha bioproducts to pull out the roots. As in the polybags, the trees had already grown with a couple of branches and swelling roots. So Thanh Ha products is for stretching out the root. As you can see now, the branches have extended and the roots have come out to access the ground, thanks to Thanh Ha products. With good fertilizers, the plant will flourish for crop harvesting at the end of the year. So no resting time for the soil and no time extension for cultivation. I firstly tried to replant coffee like that, and the results now are so good. The success of product trials on old coffee plantations and coffee replantation in the recent time has shown positive signals to the farmers in Đắk Lắk. About product evaluation, the head of Agriculture Encouragement Station in Buôn Đôn, Đắk Lắk said, coffee replantation now is quite difficult to execute. If the farmers do not have soil treatment for replanting coffee, diseases will still be in the soil and adversely affect the crops. When applying Thanh Ha bioproducts in soil treatment, the coffee trees replanted grow very well. These products have two effects. The first is crop efficiency. During deployment process, we realized that pests and diseases on plant have greatly reduced. The farmers have limited the use of plant protection sprays. Consequently, the plants grow in a balanced and good pattern and give high economic efficiency, resulting in noticeable output. The second is environmental efficiency. Thanks to these products, diseases in the soil are completely destroyed. Thus, the soil quality is gradually improved, reducing the soil acidity and fungal diseases. Especially decomposing plant remains without polluting the surrounding environment. According to the contemporary coffee replantation procedure launched by the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, it takes at least 3 years for crop rotation before replanting coffee. So the farmer can only harvest coffee again after at least 6 years. In fact, in 2012, Vietnam Coffee and Cocoa Association supported the farmers with 1.6 tons of new coffee seeds. The provincial authority encouraged local people to replanting coffee. However, most of replantation areas failed. Therefore, the success of Thanh Ha bioproducts of NH and AH tested on old coffee trees and coffee replantation has brought in positive signals to coffee growers.